Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Live in Italy magazine. If you are dreaming about moving to Italy, you will not want to miss today's interview. I am pleased to welcome Marco Permunian, who is the owner of Italian Citizenship Assistance. Today, we are going to get into some tips about acquiring Italian dual citizenship, some of the benefits, and a lot more. My name is Lisa Morales. I am the editor of Live in Italy magazine, a lifestyle and travel publication dedicated to all things Italy. Welcome, Marco. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
And I will just say that you are a close friend and work with Rafael De Furia, who we've had, and we'll link that video as well. And you are both experts in the field, really, of all things living in Italy, right?
Yes. We have a podcast regarding Italian citizenship and moving to Italy.
That's right. And we're going to put all those links below because that is one of the things that I really love is that you are a source and you give that freely. So that's really great. So let's get started. Tell us a bit about yourself and where you're based and some history to your company.
My name is Marco. I'm an Italian attorney registered with the Italian bar. And we are I would say right now, the largest firm that deals with Italian citizenship for Americans. We have offices in Los Angeles, New York, and Italy, and we help people apply for Italian citizenship, primarily Italian citizenship by descent, but we also assist people with their applications for Italian citizenship through marriage and through residency. And I started this business probably 10 years ago because of my sister. My sister, she's from Lithuania and she was adopted. And I happened to have the pleasure to work on her Italian citizenship application when she was still a minor.
That's a fantastic story. I pointed that out, that I spotted that on your website. And I think that a lot of people that end up working in the legal system, they do so because they have that one personal connection that really makes them want to work, for the benefit of other people. So that's really nice. When did you begin? What year?
It was 2010-11, we were starting.
So that's great. That's a lot of time, and that's really impressive to have, that your services available in the United States, and we'll get into that. So let's get into. Tell us some of the services that you offer. You were talking about dual citizenship by like descent, and then also by marriage, and any other ways or services that you offer.
We help people apply for, like I said, primarily for Italian citizenship by descent. So all of the people that live in America and that have Italian ancestors, they may qualify for Italian citizenship by descent if they meet the requirements. So that's the people that we help. We help them navigate the dual citizenship by descent process, which is not an easy process. It's a quite difficult and time consuming and long at times process. So we help our clients with the procurement of all the documents necessary for the dual citizenship process. So we gather documents from Italy, from the US. We help them legalize the documents, we translate the documents, and we help with the legalities of the process and with the submission of the application through the Italian consulate. Even if we can talk about that later. People can also apply for citizenship by descent directly in Italy, where the process can be faster. So instead of using an Italian consulate in the US, they can apply for citizenship directly in Italy. We also help people apply for Italian citizenship through marriage. So those people who are married to Italian citizens born in Italy, or people who became Italian citizens by descent. their spouses are also eligible to apply for Italian citizenship through marriage. And living in Italy for the spouse, for the non-Italian spouse, is not a requirement. So the spouse can also apply for citizenship through marriage, even if he or she has never resided in Italy. And we help our clients collect all the documents and submit the application. And also, finally, we help people apply for Italian citizenship through residency, meaning filing an application for Italian citizenship based on your residency in Italy. And generally, people can apply for citizenship through residency after having resided in Italy for 10 years or for 4 years if they are already citizen of another EU country, or 3 years if they are of Italian descent but don't qualify for Italian citizenship by descent.
That's great. And that's a lot of information. I'm going to backtrack a bit just because we're going to pretend that maybe somebody who might be watching this might not know exactly the criteria of descent, because I believe if you are American born, how far back is it that you have to be a descendant of somebody who was born in Italy? Is it your parents, your grandparents, your grandparents? How far back can you go?
There is actually no generational limit, so you can go back as far as you like. Normally, our average client, or I should say, the average American who qualifies for Italian citizenship by descent, qualifies through an Italian great grandparent that has to do with the big emigration from Italy to America, which happened in the late 1800, early 1900. So normally, the average American has an Italian born great grandparent, but we do assist people who have an Italian born great great grandparent or great 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 grandparent. So there is no generational limit. The only requirement is that your last Italian born ancestor must have been still alive in 1861 when Italy was unified as a
Right.
country.
That is so interesting. So besides what can be a rather long, drawn out legal process, is it guaranteed? Is it automatic then through this descendancy?
So, like you said, there are several requirements. Now, we only briefly touched one, which is your ancestor must have been still alive in 1861. But there are other requirements. For example, your ancestor must have not naturalized prior to the birth of the next in line, and also prior to 1912. If you're using a female ancestor in your Italian line, the next person in the Italian line must have been born after January 1st, 1948. So there are several requirements. By the way, we do check the eligibility of all our clients before they even become clients, completely free of charge. So we offer a
Wow.
free eligibility assessment. And if we determine that the person qualifies for Italian citizenship, then we assist them throughout the process. Now, to answer your question, the vast majority of our clients, the 99.9% of our clients, they do get Italian citizenship if they meet the eligibility requirements. Of course, it is possible that you encounter other issues along the way that may prevent you from having a successful application. For example, if a document cannot be found, or for example, if there is a mysterious name change for somebody in your Italian line, for example, your great grandfather completely changed his name and you cannot find his records. So, although you meet the eligibility requirements, there may be challenges in gathering the necessary documents, but normally it is not a too complicated process. It is totally doable. And like I said, almost all the people that qualify for Italian citizenship do get Italian citizenship.
That's great. And that's amazing. And it's good to know that, you can help people initially to see if they qualify. One thing that I brought up that is related to this, in when we were talking about our questions ahead of time, is what if you're adopted?
That's an interesting question. So under
I asked
Italian
that because I was adopted. So, but of course I'm not, I have no lineage to Italy. So that's out of the question for me.
Under Italian law, you qualify for Italian citizenship if you were adopted as a minor. So if you were adopted as a minor and your adoptive family is Italian or of Italian descent, then you do qualify for Italian citizenship by descent.
That's great. It's good to know. Actually, I think I have to look back in my emails, but I think that came up as a question from somebody. So I'm really glad to have you here today to shed light on some of it. And like I said, we'll talk about the podcast at the end. So let's talk about then Italian citizenship by marriage. So first of all, we have marriage because you could either be an Italian citizen by descent or applying to be with one and already married and have children. So what you're saying is they qualify.
So people qualify for Italian citizenship through marriage if they've been married to their Italian spouse for at least 3 years if they're residing abroad. If the couple is residing in Italy, then after 2 years from the marriage, the non-Italian spouse can apply for Italian citizenship through marriage. Also, this wait time from the date of the marriage is cut into half if the couple has minor children.
Right.
Like I said before, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, because I was going to say that probably there's got to be a criteria because there's a chance that somebody might marry an Italian citizen just to get citizenship. Am I right?
Of course. There is also a language requirement now. And I want to be clear on this. The language requirement is only for people applying for citizenship through marriage and through residency. So there is no language requirement for people applying for citizenship by descent.
Ah, okay. All right. So then that brings us to the third way, which is a little bit more complicated, is that you're talking about people who have already been residing and working in Italy with a visa, a work visa from another country, or can somebody, like, let's say I wanted to apply to be an Italian citizen. Is there a way to do that, through, let's say, a business opportunity or a business visa, or just because I feel like living in Italy?
So in Italy, you can't really buy your citizenship like you can do in other countries. So in Italy, you can only apply for Italian citizenship by descent through marriage and through residency. So there's no way for you to buy your Italian citizenship. You can then relocate to Italy on a visa, and after some time, you can apply for Italian citizenship through residency if you meet the requirements. So after 10 years, you can apply for Italian citizenship through residency, or 4 years if you are a citizen of another EU country, or 3 years if you are of Italian descent.
Right. Okay. And so let's talk about it. And it goes on. I asked you all to go. Your website is very thorough, and it in itself is a great source of information. But one thing that you do talk about is the benefits of Italian citizenship. So I'm sure there are many, but can you name the key ones, or the ones that you feel that your clients feel are the greatest benefits in becoming an Italian citizen?
There are many benefits connected to Italian citizenship. I'd say one of the most important is the healthcare. So the Italian healthcare system is free, completely free of charge for Italian citizens. So unlike the American system, which is based on insurances and can be very expensive at times, the Italian healthcare system is completely free of charge, and it's also an excellent system. A second benefit is, of course, the ability to move freely into the European Union. So if you become an Italian citizen, then you have the ability to relocate to France, Spain, Germany, any European country. So that's, of course, another benefit. And without the need for a visa. So you don't have to apply for a visa to be able to stay in a European country. You can just decide to go and relocate immediately. And other benefits would be lower tuitions and the ability to attend a European university or school without the need for a visa. And in Europe, we have one of the best universities that are out there.
Right.
And,
In the world, you say there's nothing to be modest about. We do know some of the Italian universities are the best in the world. So that's great for the country. So you're saying reduced tuition, whereas if you're a foreigner, you would have to pay the foreigner fees for university, which are a lot higher.
Exactly, it's more expensive. So you can relocate to Europe, attend university in Europe. You don't have to apply for a student visa, and tuitions are also lower. And then for somebody who is not interested in going to school, but rather to be employed by a European company, it is of course easier to have access to employment opportunities in the European Union if you are a dual citizen, because again, you don't have to go through the process of applying for a work visa to be able to work in the European Union. Another benefit would be the ability to transfer your Italian citizenship to your children indefinitely. So if you go through the dual citizenship process, the process of citizenship by descent, and you are recognized as an Italian citizen, then it's a legacy for your children, because any future children will become Italian citizens instantly at birth. So the moment they're born, they will become Italian citizens, and they will not have to go through the process that you went through when you applied for Italian citizenship by descent.
Right. That's really interesting. One thing that Raphael and I were discussing is because I'm Canadian, so I can understand some of these things. And one thing that comes to mind, and this is kind of the mission as a publication, is that whether you're traveling or wishing to live in Italy, we're encouraging that you give back to the economy, because, we know that, there has been, for first, like more than a century, an exodus of people. So I really feel from some of the expats that we're talking to, they're very invested in giving back to the local economy. So legally speaking, is there an obligation, let's say, if you get your Italian dual citizenship and you want to work in another EU or Schengen area country, should you be spending some time in the system and contributing to the system before you take advantage of some of these benefits like healthcare or the ability to work in another European country?
No, there is no such requirement. Of course, if we're talking about pensions, that's the only maybe aspect that is a little bit different, because of course, Italian citizens do get a pension when they get old, but only if they contribute during their life. So it is not really possible to get a pension in Italy if you never worked in Italy. You may have access to other services, for example, for people who have a very low income. There is like the government does support also that type of person. But as for the other benefits that we touched, there is no such requirement. So for example, you can use the Italian healthcare system for free, even if you were never a taxpayer in Italy. And that's the beauty of it.
And one of our most popular interviews to date has been an American dual citizen who's talked about going through heart surgery in both US and Italy. And the response has been overwhelming. The amount of people that have applauded the Italian health system. And also saying, I think as travelers, as foreigners, or as people who want to pay just a little bit more, have the means to upgrade to a private room, they're just saying that it's so affordable. So, as a, that's something that Italy can be proud of, I think, as a nation. So definitely, if you're considering it, we know that's an important factor. So you were talking about it, pension benefits. That's more or less the same here. So are there any other kind of advantages that you can think of, or maybe we should get into the fact that you have seen a lot more applicants this past year or two?
Definitely. In the past 1.5 years, we have definitely seen an increasing number of applications, probably due to the situation in the world. Um, we've been receiving a lot of inquiries, so we have really seen a lot of interest in Italian citizenship by descent. That is also probably due to some also projects that Italy is now starting. For example, I don't know if you heard about the €1 houses project.
Yes.
So people have been encouraged to look more into Italian citizenship, because they can then also benefit more easily from these kind of projects. And there's also been a lot of interest in the media. We were featured in the New York Times, on CNN. So definitely 2020 was a very interesting year for Italian citizenship.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that too. And obviously, just besides us, there's an increased demand. People are looking for a lifestyle change. It's obviously, younger people, the retirees aren't over 60 anymore. People are finding themselves financially stable in the United States in their mid 40s, and they're thinking about it. So that's really great. And I think, COVID and pandemic has made people think a lot about their lifestyle and what they want. So that's great to know. So let's talk about maybe. So you're saying that most of the people who come to your business are Americans. Are you dealing with anybody, let's say, from other English-speaking countries?
We mostly deal with Americans because we're based in America. So our offices are in Los Angeles and New York. We do assist people from other countries, primarily English-speaking countries. We have clients in the UK. We have clients in Australia. Few clients from South Africa. So definitely we do assist people without limitations. But let's say that naturally we are just contacted by people who are from America because of our presence in America, in the US.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And I mean, I will say again, like our largest readership is from the US, there seems, and there's so many Italian Americans as well. So that's quite understandable, like from our perspective. So I know this is not an easy question to ask, but most people will ask, how long does it take? So if you can't really give a time, what would you say the range is? Because obviously some things will complicate matters.
Like you said, it really greatly depends on each individual situation. So I'd say definitely it takes a few months, sometimes over a year, to complete the process. Especially right now with the current situation, it may take longer, slightly longer, to get all the documents together to support your citizenship application. Even if I have to admit the process, the Italian citizenship process, has not been slowed down too much by the current situation. So it is a quite long process. It can take many months to get Italian citizenship. So the sooner people start, the better. The situation in the US is still very acceptable, because I know there are longer processing times in South America, where there are even more people that are interested in Italian citizenship and that are of Italian descent, for example, Argentina or Brazil.
Right.
But I know that in America, in the US, the situation is still kind of acceptable. if you want to range, I want to say 18 months. Actually, the average would be 18 months, in my opinion, for someone who is in the US. Like I said, the process can be much quicker if you relocate to Italy for some time and do the process directly in Italy.
Right. Okay. So that's what I wanted to get into because I've been trying to watch some of the Italian Citizenship Assistance podcast videos, and that is that it was originally, to my understanding, that you had to do the whole process starting from your consulate and from your home. So let's say the United States. But now that's changed. You can actually do the process if you are, for some reason, already working and living in Italy. Is that right?
That is right. So people who live in America can do the process at the consulate. People who already live in Italy should do the process in Italy because it's easier and quicker. But also
Mhm.
people who do reside in America right now, they can relocate to Italy with the purpose of applying for Italian citizenship. So they can sort of bypass the Italian consulate in the US, which is the office where they should apply, and just relocate to Italy and start the process in Italy. And that can make the process much quicker.
Which is great because I don't know, like all circumstances are different, but I heard from somebody that they've been, not being able to get to their home in Italy because of they live in the United States because of COVID. And they are in the process of getting the dual citizenship as well. So when they get over there, it's good to know that the process can still continue as well, right?
Exactly. So the process in Italy can continue. There may be difficulties with regard to getting into the country right now. It may not be the, of course, best time to travel right now.
Mhm.
Also, there are some travel restrictions, but the process in Italy can be started because there are no limitations to the ability to start the process in Italy. Even if, like I said, it may not be the best time to travel to Italy right now.
Yeah, and hopefully by next year things will more or less resume back to normal. But yeah, but it's good to know that wherever you are, by having an attorney, you can kind of, because I think one of the consistent themes in talking to people who are living abroad in Italy is the frustration of the bureaucratic process, and also for Italians as well. So I think just having that peace of mind is worth it. And then one thing that I found interesting about your website is, I guess it's also, based on people's economic circumstances, but you do offer a different tier of services. So can you talk to us about that? Like, let's say somebody who's already started it, but then got frustrated and now they want to hire someone.
Absolutely. Our website, ItalianCitizenshipassistance.com, is very informative, first of all. So for somebody who is interested in just finding out what the process involves, they can check our website. It is very informative, and we do give out a lot of information. As for our services, for the people who want to engage our services, we do offer different tiers. Um, Most of our clients, they choose our full package. So it is a service package where basically we handle the whole process from beginning to end. Um, so from gathering all the documents to legalizing the documents, translating the documents, getting the appointment at the consulate, legal advice throughout the process, application for the Italian passport, everything is basically included in that service package. We offer a second package, which is called step-by-step package, which is basically a guidance that we offer throughout the process. So for those people who want to do the process by themselves, because they are passionate about the process, because they have the time to do it, but maybe don't have all the necessary knowledge and expertise, they can engage our services just to be guided in the process. And finally, we also do help people who are halfway in the process and just need assistance with the final steps of the process. So we take over the process and just take them to the finish line.
That's great. And that's good to know, because I don't know what I was going to say, but it's just good to know that there are various means to get that, and then you offer that advice. One thing I did want to talk about, what is so fantastic, is that you offer the Italian Citizenship Assistance podcast, because one thing is that I suppose when it's, first of all, hard to hire somebody, because we don't know that person, we might not have anyone that's recommended. But talk to us about, the education factor, making this transparent, being able to offer a podcast.
It started as a fun project. So with my friend Rafael, who I believe you interviewed already, we started this project, so this podcast. In the first episodes, we were talking about the process in general, and then we realized that a lot of people were asking questions, were commenting on our videos. So we kind of decided to do a full podcast. We have a lot of episodes out right now, where we talk about all of the different situations for somebody who's looking for not only Italian citizenship by descent, but also Italian citizenship through marriage, through residency, through a 1948 case. We didn't talk about this yet, but there are some people who have to petition the court to get Italian citizenship. And it's been a success because we realized that people are really interested in this topic. So we're looking forward to continuing with this project for who knows for how long.
For good. Why not? As long as there is demand for it. And one thing I will say is that, if you don't understand law, it can be very drawn out and sometimes boring, but you definitely both make it very entertaining, very easy to understand. And that's fantastic. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think we've covered a lot of grounds here.
Yeah, we did.
So not really. The people who are interested in a preliminary assessment of their cases to see if they qualify for Italian citizenship by descent, they can first of all look at the information on our website, Italiancitizenshipassistance.com. And if they still are unsure if they qualify, they can get in contact with us through our website.
Yes. And we're going to put all the links below, Italiancitizenshipassistance.com, and where we can find you on social media as well. And I suggest, in the link to the podcast, I suggest that everybody tune in and have a listen if you're curious. And it's all about making that dream come true and making it easier. So with that being said, I'll just close it. We are Live in Italy magazine. And the website is www.liveinItalyMag.com. And we can be found on social, Live in Italy Mag, and it's very easy. And we'll put all of Marco's and Italian Citizenship Assistance links below. Please subscribe to both of us. Tune into the podcast. You won't want to miss, their episodes. Make sure that you're tuning in regularly, because they're constantly giving different topics of discussion that are really worthwhile. So with that being said, thank you, Marco, for joining us. And we hope to have you back again sometime soon for updates.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.